Well, you knew this one was coming eventually. It's the Mario game. The first Mario game. Mario's kind of a big deal, because this game was right place, right time. And I could review the SNES All-Stars edition, but the thing of it is that's not as important or influential to video games as the first Mario is. So we're going to talk about the very first one, and the controls suck. He slides around for no real reason. It seemed pretty within the powers that be at the time to make an Italian guy with a hat not slide around like he's wearing rollerblades, but he does. You jump on the turtles, and you sometimes get bigger, or you get a gun that shoots ball flame, and you shoot the turtles. Some of the turtles can't be shot, and it's fucking Mario. You've played it. I don't know why he slides though, but you've played it. Come on, gang. Well, you can't have your Mario without your duck hunting. This came bundled with the Mario, if you're old enough to remember that. You shot a duck, and if you didn't, a dog laughed his ass off at you, like he's fucking done anything. But it was fun. It used that cool little gun. You know, there was enough bundled with that original Nintendo Entertainment Famicom system, the family computer, that you could spend an afternoon shooting birds, and you'd get mad because the dog would laugh, but you couldn't shoot him because birds are not as good to people as dogs are. Like, you can't eat a dog. People get all fucked up if you eat a dog. Dishonored is a cool game that tries to tell you to be stealthy and says it'll spank your buttocks if you are not stealthy, but it really doesn't matter in the end, so you should just stab people. It's about Corvo. He looks out for his friend who is a little girl, and some of the levels are a little boring, but some of the levels I play a million times in a row because it is fun to be Batman, and Corvo is basically Batman because Batman breaks into places and stabs people, and, you know, nobody threatened Batman with a bad ending during a loading screen. That really messed things up. I liked the game, though. You just be sure you stab whoever you want, because if you don't, it's the same. Just stab people. And now it's time for our independent game. We always do some independent gaming around here, looking out for the little company, the little man who doesn't have the money for his computer graphics, the same way that others, like Electronic Artistic Endeavors does. This is the Cat Lady. It has a lot of text. It's kind of creepy and unsettling visually, but it has a lot of text, and eventually it's not worth it because it's just text, 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 text. It's like a little girl at the mall, text, 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 except the little girl killed herself and is real depressed. Oh boy, it's the new Persona game. Time to woo some ladies and make some dark Pokemans. It's a fun game. Goes on way too long. Storytelling structure does not befit the style. It goes on too long. I don't know why it was a frame tale. Some of the plot points are really arbitrary. And they didn't need to do that, but it's still deeply symbolic. It is still very pertinent. I guess the current United States political climate is something that in some way is going on the world over, because this game strikes some really, really eerie chords topically, even though it's been in development for several years. And Persona ups their game, but the game is still not fundamentally evolving. It's another Persona game. It's a good Persona game. But they're sort of going to the well on some of this stuff a few too many times, I think, as someone who's played the games before. But if you haven't played the games before, you might find it fresh and exhilarating, because structurally there's still really nothing like it. It's the only thing that's keeping JRPGs from being dead, essentially, and it is still a quality Japanese video game role-playing experience, and you get to hit on ladies, mature ladies, younger ladies, and they will spend the night in your room area. And I think that means love involving reproductive fluids. They don't show it, but I think fluids. Fluids, maybe? I think fluids. I'm gonna write a letter to Atlas to ask about the fluids. Here, I'll start now. Pencil noise. Dear Atlas. Fluids? The premise is the world is all water, and it's at night, hence the name Sunless Sea. It's based off a very creative idea in a browser-based game. However, I found the mechanics to be too steep, too text-based, and ultimately, I think it was Walt Whitman who once wrote, "Sunless Sea is boring and shitty." Resident Evil 4 is released on a new platform about every 15 minutes. And it's a game that's been around a long time because, frankly, it's still better than most current games. It has brilliant level design, it has brilliant mechanics, it has brilliant monster design. Everything about the world is awesome. The controls are awesome. Leon suplexing people is awesome. Leon doing roundhouse kicks is awesome. Leon's hair is awesome. Throwing grenades at zombie old women is awesome. Going to the next part to see what the exciting next bit is awesome. Freeing a wolf from a trap so it can help you at a much later time is awesome. The merchant is awesome. Everything about this game is awesome. 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 Except for the writing. It was horrible. The rest of it is awesome. Wow! Well, this is a very primitive, maybe the first fighting game. It shows that the Nintendo Entertainment System clearly didn't have the technology to support such a system. You're just mashing until you knock the other inner city guy into a sewer, and then a creepy, deformed lady claps, and there's some RNG involving flower pots and shit. This game is horrible. This is one you should look up if you haven't. You gotta see this shit. Little Mermaid is a kid's game, essentially, for the NES. Ariel has really bad, sort of perpendicular force controls. It's a really easy game. You can beat it in the time it pretty much takes you to take a piss or, you know, do a push-up or something. It's not very hard. I haven't had a push-up in a while. You guys remember push-ups? Like the sherbet type thing? They were usually orange, but sometimes you could get some other ones. Man, the Flintstones ones. They had grape and cherry Flintstones ones. Did anybody eat that shit? Hotline Miami is a masterclass in the fusion of narrative in a game with its pacing and gameplay, because you die a lot, but it's fast-paced, so you get right back in there. I think anybody who isn't lame has already played this game, but if you are not lame and you haven't played it, you need to go play it, because it's unique, and unique things are cool. If you're making something right now, wherever you are, and it's not unique, just put it down. We don't need it.